All right, everyone, welcome back to another Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes video with Fat Phil, and happy New Year's Eve. I'm recording this the day before because obviously not doing this on New Year's Eve. But what I want to talk about is Starkiller and Dr. Aphra. We're going to ask ourselves the question of, is Starkiller overrated? Is Dr. Aphra overrated, right? Are they overrated characters? Are they properly rated? When I think you should farm them, why I think they're each important, but also kind of give you guys, like, maybe avoid some of the mistakes that I've seen some players. I don't want to say it's never a mistake to farm something because eventually you need everything. Normally it's a mistake of you went out of order or you did something and don't really have the means to take advantage of it, right? So let's get into this, guys. Let's talk about these characters. So they both are Grand Arena Omicrons, right? Which is why I think it's nice to, like, compare them, right? They're both Grand Arena Omicrons. Dr. Aphra has the Omicron on her leadership here. I'm trying to think, is there also one on her unique ability down here? And are there any? And then there's also, yes, and this is the thing. I forgot this is part of her thing. That they are 5v5 Omicrons, right? So her Omicrons are only for 5v5 Grand Arena, which blows my mind that these Omicrons, right, like Starkillers, are like just Grand Arena. Doesn't matter if it's 3v3 or 5v5, his Omicrons are working. Dr. Aphra's are only for 5v5. And I think that definitely has to take her down a notch comparative to Starkiller in terms of, like, from a GAC perspective, you're going to get more use out of your Starkiller Omicrons than Dr. Aphra. We're going to come back to their kits, but first we must talk about our King, Wampa. You guys know the drill. Wampa, you may not be in these requirements, but you are right here required in my heart because you are my king. Guys, if you want to see Wampa hit Relic 8 live on stream, all you need to do is get this channel to 5,000 subscribers in 2023. We hit that number, guys. Live on stream, we'll Relic 8 Wampa. Super excited for it. I cannot wait. We'll have a big old Wampa party. But let's look at their requirements. And I actually think their requirements are on par with each other as far as, like, I think they're all equally important to the game in relative aspects, right? So of all the requirements on face value, Mara Jade is definitely the best requirement as a Starkiller one. You do use her in the Starkiller team a lot, but she has the Empire tag. You run her with Emperor Palpatine, and she's just an unbelievably good character. Probably one of the best characters that we've gotten in a while. Just so fantastic. I love Mara Jade. Great to see her in the game. My biggest complaint with the Starkiller requirements is where's Juno Eclipse? Where's Proxy? Where's Rom Coda from the Force Unleashed game? Guys, I do want to say, like, sidetrack here. I played through the Force Unleashed probably 100 times. I loved that game. Starkiller's my favorite Legends character. So this isn't coming from a place of, like, I don't like these characters. Like, I love Starkiller. I might not have heard of Aphra, but I think she's very, I think it's really interesting, some of the stuff that I've heard. But Starkiller, guys, is, like, just, like, right below Wampa for me as far as how much I love Starkiller. So anyway, next then, like, as far as, like, rating the requirements, Dash Rendar, although he is in the Profundity fleet, right, and Smuggler, I want to rate BT1 and Trip 0 next because they're both characters with synergy, direct synergy with Dr. Aphra, right? And I think that's important as far as, like, when you're farming this, right, there's two characters to go right into your Aphra team. And they have Omicrons as well. I'm trying to think where they're at. Yeah, for 3v3. So you kind of get the picture where this is heading, right? That, like, Dr. Aphra's, Omicrons are for 5v5, and BT1 and Trip 0 are now for 3v3. So you've got coverage, right? You've got the teams that you need for 5v5 and 3v3, but you've got to equip a ton of Omicrons to get that use out of them. So again, just, playing devil's advocate there, right? But there's at least two characters to use with Dr. Aphra. Next, although Sanasaros has made some Rebels really, really good, I do think Dash Rendar, kind of takes the cake because of how good he is in the Profundity fleet. You know, his ship is a requirement for profundity. He's fantastic with his prepared crew. And then next is Darth Talon. Darth Talon is Sith. Obviously, she wants to be with the Sith Triumvirate, but any Sith team, she makes them better with her unique ability here. I don't need to read the whole thing, but just so good. Next, I would rate Sana Starros because of what she's done for those, like, forgotten rebels, right? Although she's only a scoundrel and smuggler, she's got this, like, rebel scoundrel tanks, right? Which means, like, Stormtrooper Han is getting a huge call out here. And whenever a non-tank rebel ally is damaged, right, they gain offense and potency and all this stuff. So, like, really good stuff with rebels. Kind of going to be a good plug-in for some of those rebel characters that we don't get to use a ton, right? And then next, Kyle Katarn's got to go, right? Kyle Katarn, he's got a ship. It's not the greatest, but he's got 3 super lucrative tags between Jedi, Rebel, and a Rebel fighter. He wants to be with the Rebel fighters, right? Absolutely wants to be with Rebel fighters. But it's nice knowing that you can place him in some of those other teams and still get some uses out of him. Hondo, it hurt my heart to say that he's like the one that's like the least important, but he is the neutral character. He's the first neutral character, which is awesome. I love that. I kind of love that it's Hondo. I think it's very cool that it's Hondo. He definitely deserves it, right? He's not good. He's not bad. He's Hondo, right? We love Hondo. The thing with him is we just don't have the team yet that really gets the most out of his kit, right? He just kind of seems like this. We don't know what to do with him right now. I think there's a future for Hondo. I think there's a very big future for Hondo. We just don't know what it is. I am kind of disappointed that we didn't get any Phoenix synergy with Hondo, or that we didn't get like a pirate tag and a pirate crew. Like, but you know, we don't know what's coming down the road, right? So as far as requirements go, you guys saw that I kind of view with BT and Trip Zero being with Aphra, I think it gives her just like the slightest of edges. Even though I think as a whole, Starkiller's requirements are better, because BT1 and Trip Zero go with Aphra in her team and the synergy with Darkside droids, I think it shoots them up a level that there's more of her team that you've just filled out, right? Again, one man's personal opinion. So then next, what I want to do is take a look at their specific kits and kind of compare them as far as like, you know, we love Starkiller, right? But I do think he's a little bit overrated because of this right here. His unique ability where obviously you can have a Galactic Legend ally, but then you need to have 1 Jedi, 1 light side unaligned Force user, 1 Sith, and 1 other dark side unaligned Force user ally. Very specific requirements. But when you read those, unless your guild is doing Rise of the Empire territory battles, he's almost useless in territory battles. Because you're not ever going to be able to use a light side unaligned Force user or a Jedi in dark side Geonosis territory battles. So he's losing a good bit of value there for, you know, mid-game players who are still doing Geonosis territory battles, right? Dr. Aphra is dark side, and all of her kit is around dark side droids, Darth Vader, and even Chrysanthemum, which I think is super interesting. I'm going to sidebar here and say that her kit was designed after Jabba the Hutt's, right? So Chrysanthemum getting a call out has to mean something. We don't know if it means that there's a new character coming for Jabba or, you know, whatever that is, but there's something with Chrysanthemum that might make us want to run him with Dr. Aphra, and I'm very curious what it is. So anyway, just putting it out there. She also gets synergy with Darth Vader, which I think is, I don't know, like makes me mad that Darth Vader has to be like a part of a squad instead of the leader, but you know, beggars can't be choosers. She does make Darth Vader very good. So as far as territory battles go, Aphra's going to take the cake here. Like, I think she's absolutely going to be that character that just goes into the next level and says, yeah, you know what? Like, you can use me and my dark side droids in Geonosis territory battles and we're going to do amazing. Or you can use us in, you know, any of those game modes with these dark side droids and we're going to be good, right? And then you're going to kind of come down to this point of like, where does Territory Wars fit in? And Starkiller, you use like a similar team to GAC, just you put in the Juhani character with her Omicron inside of that, and you've got a good team. So Dr. Aphra does not have a territory war Omicron. And I don't think that's a bad thing, right? But it definitely plays into the fact that, like, Starkiller is a little bit more versatile for that PvP. But once you get into PvE content, Dr. Aphra is kind of taking your cake there, right? And I don't know. I guess I wanted to make this video because I saw so many newer players like, oh, I want to get Starkiller. I want to get Starkiller. And I love Starkiller, guys. Like, I don't regret getting Starkiller, but I'm also a lot farther into the game than some of the other people I've seen get Starkiller. Like, keep in mind that to really take advantage of these reqs, you need some profundity, you need some of those other things, right? But, like, at the same time with Dr. Aphra, none of her reqs are accelerated. So, where does this leave you off on where to farm them? Guys, if you watched my, and I'll link it in the description down below, I released it yesterday, talking about, you know, the different phases of Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes. These are all late game things. I think you are wisest if you save these for the late game. You know, in the mid game, you just won't quite have enough to take advantage of the reqs. You won't have the bandwidth. Like, if you had to farm one in the mid game, I would pick Dr. Aphra just because it's going to be easier to build a team for her than Starkiller, because you're going to have, like, Kyle and Dash just kind of hanging out there, or you'll have, you know, Darth Talent. Like, you'll have characters just hanging out there that you're probably not using, that you'll either have to build up these whole new squads you don't have yet. So, I don't know, guys. I want to do this video. Hopefully you like it, right? Hopefully you guys understand where I'm trying to come from. That I want you guys to, you know, again, my advice with $1 gets you $1, right? Like, it's just my advice. It's my opinion. But my opinion really is that Starkiller is great. Dr. Aphra is great. But I think that Starkiller is a little bit overrated and people are going for him way too soon before they can really take advantage of his kit, guys. But let me know what your thoughts are down below. Maybe you guys completely disagree with me and think I'm off my rocker and that Starkiller should be the first thing you get in the game. Very curious to see what you guys think. As always, guys, I love all of you. Happy New Year. You know, next time you guys will see a video after this one from me, we'll be in 2023, guys. I can't wait to see what next year brings. Again, may the force be with you guys. I'll see you in the next video. Cheers.